Coronado Springs is often a misunderstood resort. People usually love it or hate it. So today we are here to clear up some of that and share with you the pros and cons of staying at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. Coronado Springs Resort is a moderate resort at Walt Disney World. It's home to a convention center that hosts over 100 conventions each year. But it's also a resort packed with amenities, so let's compare the pros and cons here to see if this is a resort that works for you. Let's start with the good stuff. Coronado Springs has great food options. They have some of the best food on Walt Disney World property. Its main table service restaurant, Toledo, serves high-quality small plates and elegant dishes and desserts. It's great for date nights or special occasions. While the lounge directly across from it, Dahlia, has delicious cocktails and a variety of food options. You can see the fireworks from up here. It's a really cool space. Both of them are definitely worth trying out. Barcelona Lounge serves up unique coffee offerings, pastries, small bites, and a full bar later in the day. Also a really cool space to hang out. Everything I've had from here has been delicious. Three Bridges at Villa del Lago has a great selection of entrees like lamb chops, one of the best burgers at Disney, not the best, but it's definitely up there, very good. They have all kinds of things like churros, guac, and more. You'll also find Rick's Bar and Grill serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner options in a sports bar type atmosphere, and Maya Grill is also located here, which I've never eaten at, but it generally does get pretty good reviews. In addition to that, you'll also find other bars scattered throughout the property, making it really convenient to get something whenever you're out and about. Coronado Springs is the only moderate resort with a club-level lounge. Kronos Club gives guests staying at Coronado Springs the option of leveling up their Disney vacation by staying club level. We do have a whole video on staying club level at Coronado Springs if you're interested. It is more expensive, but it is not nearly as expensive as club level that you'd pay for at one of the deluxe resorts. So you kind of get a deluxe experience at a moderate price. Really nice way to maybe celebrate something special if you're staying at Walt Disney World, or maybe just try something you haven't done before. Coronado Springs offers multiple room options with different room layouts and prices. This is especially nice for larger parties traveling together, or those who are looking for rooms with separate sleeping quarters. Maybe you're traveling with a younger child and you'd like them to have their own space while you stay up and they're in bed. Maybe you need to do some work on this trip and so you'd like to be separated. They do have a few different options at Coronado, both in the tower and in the normal area of the resort. And of course, they also have standard rooms, which makes it easy for everyone to find a room type that is going to work for them. The dig site is one of the most well-organized fun areas at any Disney resort in my opinion. It is home to the Lost City of Cibola pool, and guests will find all of the recreational opportunities in one spot here. So along with the pool, you're also going to find a beach volleyball court, the arcade, a pool bar, and a playground. Having all of this in one place makes enjoying the resort and its activities really, really easy. Most resorts are a bit more spread out than this when it comes to where the playground is and the pool, but this is all in one spot, so that is great. And outside of the regular pool, the resort has 3 other quiet pools that all match the themes of their respective section. So if you're trying to stay away from the crowds, these convenient pools are a great option. Coronado Springs has not just one, but 2 fitness centers. Fitness centers and gyms are typically reserved for deluxe resorts only, so having 2 at a moderate resort really makes this stand out. I know not everyone likes to work out on their vacation, but if you're training for something or you're just trying to keep up on your fitness, this is a really good option that you don't have to spend as much as a deluxe resort to still be able to use the gym. One is inside the tower, and one is over in the casitas section. The resort is quite spacious, so it never really feels crowded. Even when there are large conventions, or if you're traveling during busier times, it's usually pretty easy to find quiet spaces because of how spread out the resort is. Coronado Springs is often pretty budget-friendly. Usually it's one of the cheapest moderate resorts if you choose to stay outside of the tower, So if you're looking for a moderate resort but are on a budget, this is a good option to check out. Since it has so many rooms, you can also often find rooms here on promo, and the rates are usually pretty reasonable even without one. If you do want to stay in the tower, it will be more expensive, but keep in mind that these rooms feel a lot like deluxe rooms without a balcony for just a fraction of the price. And a little bonus, this resort is absolutely stunning at Christmas time. As you can see, there's a lot to love about Coronado Springs, but what about the things that aren't so great? Let's take a look at some of the downsides of staying at Coronado Springs Resort. Coronado Springs is home to a convention center, as I mentioned before, and while this is not an inherently bad thing, it can make the atmosphere feel a bit grown up when a convention is going on. Since many of the convention attendees are also there for work, during the day you'll often find lots of people spread out working. This does not and has never bothered us while we're staying there, but many families comment that because of this, they don't feel like the resort is family friendly as a result. On the upside, if you are here for work, there are plenty of places to do just that. The food court, El Mercado, has very weird hours, and okay, so I know this is a strange complaint to make, but there are multiple times in the day when you only have a few options for food at the food court, rather than having access to the full menu. Now, you might think this is something that happened post-reopening in 2020, but that is actually not the case. The food court has had strange meal times since at least 2018 and probably since before that. In addition to that, Toledo is not open Mondays or Tuesdays, and Three Bridges does not open till 4:30. So in general, you have very limited lunch options when you're staying here. It's a little strange because you feel like you should be able to get food anywhere at any time of the day, and that's actually kind of not how it is at Coronado. The location of the main pool is one thing that I hear people complain about a lot. At a lot of the Disney resorts, the main pool is located up near the lobby. This keeps everything in one area and keeps everything from being too spread out. But at Coronado Springs, the dig site, like I mentioned before, is the hub for the main pool and everything else, and it's kind of far from the lobby. Personally, though, due to the type of resort this is, I think it's a smart place to put the pool, especially since the dig site consists of the pool bar, the playground, arcade, and the actual pool itself. It's a very convenient setup, and it does kind of help keep the convention center attendees and the vacationers in the main play area kind of separate. I feel like having the main pool up close to the convention center area in the main building would just really feel chaotic. So for me, I don't look at this as a con, but some people definitely don't like how far it is from the main building. So like I mentioned before, Coronado Springs is huge, and while this can be a plus because it rarely feels crowded, it can also be a bit of a negative as well. It can take a while to get from one area of the resort to the other, and since it is larger, that means that there are a lot of guests staying here, which can often result in longer wait times for the buses and overall more crowding in specific areas like the main pool. Speaking of buses, Coronado only has bus transportation. With the addition of the Skyliner, many people look at this as a downgrade from resorts on the route like Caribbean Beach or Art of Animation, but there are actually a lot of resorts that also only have bus transportation, so it shouldn't really be that much of a deal breaker. A big drawback about the bus system though at Coronado is because the resort is so large, buses can get very packed very quickly. There are multiple bus stops throughout the resort, with one located in each section of the resort as well as one at the tower. Buses can get full before reaching the last bus stop, which is located at the tower, meaning that you'll have to wait for the next one. And be prepared to be packed into buses quite tightly at the end of the night when everyone is leaving the parks. When we stay at Coronado Springs, we often take Uber if we see the buses are going to be longer. And honestly, it only costs about $6 to $10 each way, so this is also an option if you need it. As you can see, there is a lot to consider when deciding whether Coronado Springs Resort is right for you. Hopefully this video has been helpful in showing you the pros and cons of Coronado Springs at Walt Disney World. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.